here's another mini painting. I let all those small pieces dry. I have a bunch to paint now. And I'm going to do another horse on this one. Different from the one that you saw before. I'm drawing it with a watercolor pen. There's various kinds of watercolor pens. This one is let's see, what is it? Statler Mars Graphic 3000 Duo. What a watercolor pen is that it will dissolve when you put water on it. So I'm just kind of drawing the outline of the horse, and you'll see what happens when I paint it in. There you see the outline. Put a little bit of shadows, show a little bit of the muscles and the shading on the horse. Ooh, that noise is a cat playing on my chair. Okay, you'll notice I did not put any marks on the backs of the lower legs, and you'll see why in just a minute. Okay, find a paintbrush. Here's a favorite. Here's another favorite. Okay. I'm going to use a color called Cobalt Turquoise. Which is kind of opaque. More so than most of the watercolors that I use, which are more transparent. I do like to use transparent watercolors so that the background shows through. In other words, the background that I've painted on there originally, but it doesn't happen so much with the turquoise. But that's okay. It's the color I like, the color I want. Some of it does show through. Well, need more paint. But you see where I painted over the watercolor pen, it just blends in, and I love it when it does that. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to paint those legs. I'm going to take a second brush and just get it wet, but not soaking wet. And I'm going to paint on, oops, cat hair. Take that off. paint on the lower legs of the horse. And then I'll use the wet brush just to draw some of that paint out. So it's kind of a little, shows motion a little bit. Okay, there we go. Now, before I can really paint in the mane and tail and some other decorations, I have to wait for this paint to dry. Okay, so I'm going to use black for the mane and tail. Let me find my black here. Hope that's enough color. I hope you can see painting the mane in. I'm pretty free and easy with the brush strokes I use on painting manes and tails. That's the fun of it. That blends in a little bit. That's okay, because the paint isn't completely dry. This brush is a slightly large for painting those hooves, but whatever. I hate little brushes. I'll leave those kind of details to other artists. Now this horse, I want some spots on him, but I'm not sure that it's dry enough to put the spots on. So I might get blendy spots. Blendy spots, I mean spots where the paint runs. That might be interesting anyway. Let's try it. Oh yeah, it's way too wet. There we go. Okay, I would call it finished. For a mini painting, anyway. Now, I got this idea of what I like to do with these little ones. I know I have a commission to paint 12 of them for somebody, but I'm going to paint more than that because I found these things at Hobby Lobby, I guess it was. Michael's has them too. Note cards, see, blank note cards. And what you do is you can put your original painting right there on the card, sign your painting, and you put it on with some double stick tape, and then you have a fabulous note card. Now, what would you do with a bunch of note cards in this day and age? Doesn't everybody email or Facebook or something else? Well, no, they don't. So I am going through my list of people that I miss in this pandemic, and I'm making an original painting for a card to be sent to each of those persons that I miss in the pandemic. And it's going to take me a long time, you know. This comes with envelopes and stuff. That's great. Anyway, if I even do one a day, reach out to one person a day, it's still going to take a while for me to make enough cards to reach out to friends that I miss in the pandemic. Anyway, I thought it would be an amusing and old-fashioned way to communicate. And I'm quite excited about my project. Okay, happy painting and happy trails.